racial slur and also wearing a shirt that said "Football Matters" just last weekend. So, Shannon, if you played for Dabo, and I know you guys have a relationship, would you be publicly supporting him now?
No, I'll be like Jerry Jones. My silence would be deafening. I wouldn't say a thing.
Good.
Because I think the thing is, Skip Bayless, we're not denying that Dabo is a very good coach. There's no question about that. He's brought Clemson into prominence. When you talk about the Alabamas and you talk about the top-tier programs, you must put Clemson in there. Now, Clemson was always a good program, Skip, but they're in title contention every single season the last 6-7 years. And that's Dabo. Give him his credit. But Skip is, I understand that he's a great coach and, he's given me a scholarship, but you have to understand there's a difference, players, between being a black player playing for Clemson and then taking that uniform off and being a black man in society.
Yep.
You're not going to always have on that orange and white. You're not going to always have that tiger paw print helmet on your head. So you must understand that. Dabo has told you how he feels. Dabo doesn't care about these issues. Dabo care about winning football games, and if young black men can help him win football games, that's Dabo. Dabo said some things when Cap was doing what he did in the beginning that caused me to raise my eyebrows, Skip, because I've heard this before when people get upset. You saw this a lot with immigration. It's always, Skip, go back to where you come from. Leave the country. Dabo uttered that. And when they asked him about it 2 weeks ago, he said it was harsh. He didn't apologize. And nobody called him on that. They didn't say, Dabo, you're not sorry. He said it was harsh. So now I'm looking at you kind of side. I'm being honest, Skip, especially in today's time, as conscious as young black men are today. Nah, I'm going to need you to show support for this cause. I'm going to need you to tackle it deliberately. I understand you're a coach. I appreciate you giving me a scholarship. But what players must understand, Skip, also, is that the scholarship is contingent. It's a year-to-year deal. You don't get that scholarship and says, okay, I'm here for 4 years. That's on if Dabo likes what you're doing or not. And I think people need to understand that. Dabo, he's great. Those black men can do something for Dabo. What we're asking from people like Dabo Swinney, that look like Dabo, that has a voice that's influential, is to say something, speak on something for women, young men and young women that can do nothing for you, Dabo. That's what we're asking. You ain't got to give a dime. Your voice is the currency that we need. Your influence is the currency. So no, I'm not speaking. No, hell no. I'm not saying a word. Shannon, what do you think? Dabo's a good coach. And I'm going to leave it at that.
So I made some notes last night after I read this. And the first thing I wrote down was, say nothing. Say nothing.
Yeah.
This is not a time for defending. This is a time for calling out and standing by who you called out, standing by what you said.
Right.
And it's not a time for trying to take someone off the hot seat. It's time to heat it up.
Yes.
Excuse me, and keep it heated. And they're trying to let Dabo off the hook for many reasons. There's an old cliche about, I can criticize my wife, but you better not.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay, so that's what's operating here.
Correct.
Is that, a few former Clemson players called him out. They should have. He needed to be yelled out because he was so wrong on so many fronts. And now it's because there's been a flood of national criticism coming down on Dabo. Now it's to the point that all of a sudden some of the ex-stars are saying, well, that's not fair. Even DeAndre Hopkins is saying, well, he's a great coach. We get that.
Yeah.
He's 69-5 in his last 5 years.
Ain't nobody, we were asking him about a coach as a coach.
No, we're not talking about that.
Yeah.
No one has a better record over the last 5 years than Dabo Swinney.
Nope.
But Christian Wilkins, his former star who's now playing for the Dolphins, said, I see a lot of different things being said about him that I don't necessarily agree with because I know him personally. So you're saying your friendship with him, your kinship with him in a football context is overriding the external criticism.
Right.
Oh, well, you can't say that. I could say that. And Christian Wilkins goes on to say, I know his intentions, and I know his heart, and I know he's a great coach. Okay, we don't care about that
See?
at this moment, okay? Granted, he might not have said all the right things. He might have said some things that people disagree with and that maybe I disagree with. Yeah, you better believe he did.
Exactly.
But that just shows where someone like me could really help Coach Swinney. Okay, you could. I kept reading quotes yesterday from Clemson players, ex-players. It's time to help educate Dabo. Okay, I'll buy that.
You know what?
Okay.
That man.
Okay, but if Shannon Sharp played for him, I believe you would ask if you could have a conversation,
yes,
a private conversation with him.
Yes, I like to think
I'm
so.
not sure you'd be trying to educate. You'd be trying to cross-examine.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You said what? Why? Can you